All right, what's up and welcome to the channel. My name is Mrs Hegshot. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today is the day where I show you the top 5 guns everybody should own. And this is going to be a comprehensive list of guns that cover such a wide variety of uses. I think this is going to be really fun to show you some cool guns, man. And if this is like your first 5 guns you're trying to build up to, or just trying to get a broader range of guns, hopefully this list will help you out. Now, we've always done pistols and things like that, but like I've told you all in the past, man, we're going to start migrating into some other things, and hopefully you like the list here. If you have a better list, or if you just want to leave me your own list of top 5 guns, leave them down in the comments section below. And I'm going to show you everything from the plinker to protection today. And speaking of protection, let me thank today's sponsor, the USCCA, because they are the leaders in protecting gun owners. The USCCA is an education and training company that provides law-abiding citizens the tools they need to be a successful protector of their homes and their families. As soon as you join the USCCA, you have access to the Protector Academy, which is virtual training and awesome videos guided by self-defense experts to help you be ready if you ever had to draw your gun in self-defense. Amongst all of the tools they give you, some of the really cool ones, they help you develop situational awareness skills that allows you to be a protector and not a victim. They show you the best ways to actually keep criminals out of your home. They give you live fire, dry fire exercises, and heck, even if you are traveling from one state to the next, they will show you a map that tells you the gun laws in each one of those states. And on top of all that, they give you self-defense liability insurance, which protects you in case you ever had to draw your firearm in self-defense. They provide a ton of resources for gun owners everywhere. I'm going to leave a link down below so you can check them out for yourself. We've been with them since 2015, and I think they are the best company out there for the education, training, and the self-defense liability insurance out there. All right, let's get started with number 5. These are in no particular order, by the way. A 22. All right, this is something that has been a hole in my collection for a long time, and I can honestly say that it no longer is a hole in my collection, even if it's the cheaper Heritage Rough Rider. Now, these things are pretty well respected for less than $100 generally, but even $129, $150. These things are pretty incredible, man. But a 22 is a great tool to have for a lot of different purposes. If you're training, if you want to shoot on the cheap, which is something we're all trying to do in these crazy times. If you want to train your kids, or if you want to teach them on a single shot type of revolver or a single shot type of rifle, really, you can get these things from the super tactical to the granddaddy's, single shot type of gun. I mean, there's such a wide variety here that it's too much to cover, but any kind of a 22 will really do good. I think the rifles are a little bit more useful because you get that, hunting aspect to them as well. They're a little bit easier to control, but any 22, even this 22 right here, super easy to control. If you go with a semi-auto 22, keep in mind they can be kind of finicky as far as the ammo, but they're still great training tools and super easy to shoot. And even at times like this, they're cheap to shoot, man. So hunting, training, and having a hell of a time, the 22 is a classic. It's here to stay, and it's something you should definitely have in your collection. I'm going to go ahead and get this one out of the way because I know that we are kind of veering away from, or trying to veer away from, these kinds of guns in this video, but I cannot leave out some kind of 9mm pistol, but specifically some type of Glock. Now, if you know me and my channel and watch my channel enough, you know I'm not a Glock fanboy. I'll take a Smith & Wesson, a SIG, a CZ, or an H&K pretty much any day over a Glock. But hear me out here. The Glock in general is super reliable, and it's a gun that even if you don't like Glock, you should have at least one in your collection. Specifically the 19 or the 17, but the 19 is like the perfect balance of a gun that you could potentially carry. Even better, it's something that you can use for home defense or at the range as a training tool at the range. It's so hard to beat these things, man. Super customizable, a load of different options. Magazine types, the 9mm to me is just the best type, and it's the overall jack of all trades type of pistol. And I'm showing you right now a Glock 26. I've had this one for a long time, and again, they're not my favorite gun. You have to, to me, when you buy a Glock, you have to change the sights and maybe do something with the trigger, maybe a little, I don't ever do anything with the trigger, but you know, you can do things like that, but at least doing the sights gives you a heck of a good platform. And a gun, I would say 99% of the time, when you need it, it's going to fire. And these things can take a lot of abuse. Built in Austria, and of course they're made right here in the US as well, and have been for a long time. But the Glock is just a 9mm pistol. Everybody, as much as I've dogged them in the past, I love these guns, dude. I really do, and everybody should have one of these in their collection. Now, speaking of jack of all trade, we have Russian AK47 Kalishnikov. Now, this one's actually a Palmetto State Armory. Hopefully you enjoyed my Russian accent there. But these guns are built and stand the test of time, man. Built 2 years after World War II. Can you imagine if the Russians had this gun in World War II? And I don't care what anybody says, they took design cues and tips. And even Kalishnikov himself said he didn't take anything from the STG-44. I respect the man, but I'm telling you, they had to. Just look at the gun side by side and you'll see what I'm saying. But it takes away nothing from the AK-47, because let's be honest, the Soviets were on the winning side of that war. And this is just, I have more and more respect for these guns. And I'll tell you why, man. I love historical guns. I love World War II guns. And they're so old, but yet they've been modernized and kept up with through the times. It's like the 1911, dude. It will never, ever, ever die. And the AK-47 is super reliable. They're built with looser tolerances, which is why you generally will see AKs get thrown in the mud and they'll still work. Depending on the state you live in, you can get 30-round mags. You can obviously go higher than that. But they're just super easy and kind of like they're kind of a dinosaur in today's time. The charging handle isn't in the best spot, being on this side. The sights are definitely not the best sights in the world, but then again, like with this PSA GF3, it has a mount here, so then you can actually attach the mount that goes up over the receiver that will allow you to attach some kind of optic. So they've been modernized, but yet they still have just that classic design, dude. It's just an awesome gun, man. If you want something super reliable, 7.62x39 is generally pretty cheap and plentiful. It actually gives you stronger ballistics inside of like 300 to 400 yards than 5.56, and just a super reliable, all around, fun, awesome gun that can help save your life too. The AK-47, man, is one of those ones. I like it more and more as time passes by, dude. Now, time for the bonus gun of today's top 5 video, and anybody that is serious about collecting any type of World War II gun. Right here I'm showing you a Luger. This one is circa 1938. Waffenomps and all of that good stuff. Everything matches on this gun except for the barrel, which has been replaced at some point. But the Luger is a great and iconic gun. But any gun from World War II, man, not only will you have a historical piece that's only going to go up in value, but it will also kind of give you an idea of what shooting was like back in those days, man. And it's just awesome to hold a piece of history in your hand. You can go as cheap as the Mosin Nagant, which were, 41 million of those guns made. Relatively cheap. They've gone up a lot in price, but they're relatively cheap in the world of collecting World War II firearms. And to me, no collection is complete without one of these. This is a bonus I'm giving to y'all absolutely free. Make sure you have some type of World War II or World War I type of firearm in your collection. Generally speaking, World War II, at least most of the time, depending on what you get, you can still get the ammo for those guns relatively easy. Now, there is no way I would show y'all an AK-47 and not show you America's favorite rifle in the AR15 in the same video, because this will help to complete your rifle collection. And the reason I say this, man, these things were designed by Eugene Stoner, introduced in Vietnam, man, and they have had a long history from the M16 to the M4 to the AR15, which is what civilians generally are allowed to have here in the United States. This is going to give you a low recoiling, plentiful as far as the ammo, awesome gun, man. For the range, for home defense, there's really not a whole lot that can beat the AR-15, man. Not only can you get the ammo generally pretty cheap, super low recoiling, but you can customize these things to your heart's desire. And if you want to kind of cover the 5.56 niche or any one of the various calibers you can get these in, you could also kind of get your 22 out of the way as well. You can get conversion kits for these that will come with mag adapters that allow you to run 22 and also, you know, get a different bolt and all that good stuff. But you could have a 22 and a multi-caliber gun all in one, essentially, okay, with very little changes to the gun. They're actually designed to be pretty much drop-in type of parts. So the AR15 Man, it's comfortable, whereas the AK47 might be a little bit too old school for some of you. Generally speaking, if they come with backup sights, they're going to give you a better sight picture than what the AK47 will, as far as that ramp style sight that just does not pick up very well for older eyes or people with eyes like mine that just suck. And of course, you can run optics on essentially, I would say 98% of AR-15s out there, unless it's an older style. Generally speaking, you're going to be able to run optics on it. It's going to come with better backup sights or iron sights. And also it gives you the ability to charge the gun straight from the back here. You don't have to reach around or anything like that. You know, forward assist, all that kind of stuff, man. These guns are awesome. You can get the mags for them. And this is a great training tool as well, man. It's something that you can teach somebody on without them having to worry about a ton of recoil. There is no collection complete without some kind of an AR-15. Now, you want to talk about holes in somebody's system, man. Not only was the 22 a hole in my system for a long time, shotgun was a hole in my system, man. And it really boggles me, man, because this is something that I shot growing up as a kid. I didn't have a lot of handguns. My dad wasn't really into semi-autos at the time, and he really wasn't into the AR-15s and the AKs. He was into bolt-action rifles and shotguns. That's essentially what I grew up shooting. Oh, and also 22s. So these things that I've kind of always been around and kind of always taken for granted, when I put this list together, I'm like, man, my collection personally had some big holes, and they have obviously been filled by a shotgun and 22, man. Now, this one is a little bit more niche, but it's going to provide you two areas that are amazing: self-defense and also hunting, depending on what type of gun you have. Now, this one right here is really niche. It's almost exclusively a home defense gun, but it's a good one. It actually has 2 tubes, which you can fit up to 14 rounds in this gun. Soft shooting as far as what it is, bullpup design, overall short. So that way, if you're inside your home, you know, you don't have something like the long duck gun I showed y'all in the last video. This is something that you can shoulder. You can obviously put an optic on for nighttime capability. It has M-LOK, so you can have a light on here so you can identify things that go bump in the night. And this pump action, so satisfying to work. Nice rubber pad. And the shotgun is just something, man. I picked up a KSG in a gun shop today, man, just to take another look at it after I've reviewed this one. The KSG feels so light in your hands compared to this gun, man, and I really want to get one because it seems really like even better than what I can remember them being back in the day. Just as far as the feel, the function, everything on it seem really good, man. So these tactical shotguns are good, but any kind of shotgun, especially, I like pump actions. That's just me, but automatic shotguns are cool. But I like self-defense shotguns. That's really my niche, man. Yeah, I don't do a lot of bird hunting and stuff, so self-defense shotguns are kind of more my thing, I would say. Super customizable, and something, it's like the infamous sound that you would ever hear if somebody tries to break in your home and they hear this. It's almost like a big dog barking. I can't imagine too many people staying around for that noise right there. So it's just something that, man, you could really protect your home with, and there is no collection complete without some kind of a shotgun. So there is my list on the top 5 guns everybody should own. I would love to see what your list would look like down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. And as always, hold them down.